Monday afternoon. Good to have you back with us on this 5th day of March, the year 2018. All right, let's do something now in the quarterbacks as far as the draft is concerned and as far as Cousins and the folks who may be available are concerned, and away we go. First off, this is going to be a very intriguing next 6 weeks. You have the reason it's intriguing is that you have 4 big quarterbacks who are available. I'm not counting Lamar Jackson. 4 big quarterbacks that are available, and all of them have something about them that would scare you. Allen, obviously, the lack of competition in that conference, although it didn't seem to hurt Wentz, and the idea that maybe not 100% accurate. Darnold, a spotty second year at USC, didn't even throw at the combine. Be a little worried about it. Rosen, he talks a lot, banged up a little bit. You wonder about him a little bit. And Mayfield, obviously, is awfully arrogant. He's not that big. He's not your typical prototypical quarterback. So that is the first thing that's interesting. Second thing is interesting is you have so many teams at the top of the draft who need a quarterback. The Jets at 6 need a quarterback. The Giants will need a quarterback. Maybe not in 2018, but sooner or later will need a QB. They're at 2. The Browns, who never get a quarterback, right, are 1 and 4. So you have 4 quarterbacks. You have, basically the 6, 1. You got 4 of the top 6 picks need a quarterback. And that is, I don't even know who's got the 5th pick. Indianapolis has the 3rd pick, and they don't need one. I'm assuming, of course, that Luck's okay. But that is an awful lot of quarterbacks for teams there in the top of the draft, which is fascinating. And then you throw in Cousins, not to mention, A.J. McCarron. Broncos and they need a quarterback. No, they're not at 5th. They're not at 5. Broncos are not at 5. They're not they're that high? I thought they were a little lower than that. They're at 5? Go. All right, so Eddie, so the Broncos too. So the Broncos, the Browns, the Giants, and the Jets. 4 of the top 6 picks are with teams that need quarterbacks. Wow. Who has number 7?
Bucks.
They don't. 4 of the first 6 with quarterbacks that there's issues with a couple of them. And then you throw in the idea that you got a couple quarterbacks who might be available via trade or free agency. One of them is obviously a guy like McCarron. We got to see where he ends up. Then you certainly got Keenum now, Bradford. And of course Kirk Cousins. Let's start with Cousins right out of the gate. There was a report today, and again, I got to see it confirmed somewhere. Nobody's heard from Cousins. This is just rumor. You got to be careful with this, but there seemed to be 4 teams that were in the Cousins wish list there not too long ago. Cardinals and the Broncos, and of course the Vikings and the Jets. Now there appear to be just 2, the Vikings and the Jets. Buyer beware with Cousins. I would not under any circumstances pay Kirk Cousins $30 million a year to be a starting quarterback. And I do understand Garoppolo, Stafford, as soon as you sign the next deal as a quarterback, you are the highest paid player in the league because the price keeps on going up at the position. So I get that, and sometimes it's unavoidable, and the desperate need for quarterbacks makes it trickier. So I understand that too. You can't win with that one. I get it. But Cousins has done absolutely, in a big spot, nothing in his career. Nothing. He was not good against Green Bay in a post-playoff game. He was atrocious at the end of the season 2 years ago, Carolina and the Giants. He was okay, pretty decent at times this past year, but the Redskins felt that Alex Smith would be a little bit more cost-efficient and would serve just the correct purpose compared to Cousins when they made that move to get him, or they will make it official down the road. I'd be very, very careful. I really would. If I was a team out there, and those 4, of course, are running to get a quarterback, I tell you, I'm going to be very careful about giving Kirk Cousins $30 million a year. There's nothing else I can tell you. I wouldn't do it myself. I am not giving that kind of money to a QB who has never in his life won a playoff game. I'm not doing it. Now, I know Stafford hasn't won a playoff game either. I get that. And he got it. So, and Garoppolo has won a playoff game. He got it. I get it. That's the going rate. But we have seen we have seen Cousins in the big spot in the last 3 years. We have seen him in that spot. Stafford's been on a perennial bad team. He played well against the Saints, that one playoff game, and they lost. They scored 20-something, 28 points. I mean, Garoppolo, he hasn't had that chance yet. We have seen Cousins on the cusp in that spot, and he has not responded. I would not pay him. That's the first thing I wanted to say. Second thing I wanted to say is, the Vikings, for a team that got to the NFC title game, for a team that was the 2 seed in the NFC, for a team that was a favorite in the aforementioned NFC title game in Philadelphia, for them to discard Keenan just like that, and now be in the running for Cousins. What exactly, and Mike Zimmer, who is not a quarterback-friendly coach, where is the evidence that suggests that Cousins is $25 million a year better than Keenan? Or $15 million a year better, whatever the price tag might be. Where is there to suggest that? Keenan played pretty well against the Saints, won the game. He has won a postseason playoff game. Cousins has not. Where is it? And the Redskins the Redskins didn't think that highly of Cousins. And Gruden knows something about quarterbacks. He's an offensive coach. Zimmer doesn't know anything about quarterbacks. He's a defensive coach. Gruden's an offensive coach. Where does it say anywhere that Cousins is that much better than Case Keenan? And I understand it's a buyer beware situation with Keenan. I get it. 1 year out of nowhere, a little chip on his shoulder, played well. Can you count on it again? I understand that. He's not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. But where is there proof that Cousins is 15 times better or 10 times better than Keenan? Can somebody explain me where that might be? Because I have not seen it, ever. Where is there proof? Let's start at that premise right out of the gate. If it was my team and I had a high pick, now I know I kind of thought when Cousins was available back at the Super Bowl, how about the Browns signing Cousins and then getting the 4th pick, signing Cousins and then drafting Barkley and trading, and I know I mentioned that, which is fair. They are $100 million under the cap. They can do anything they want. And they need anybody to play the position. They're not ready necessarily to win a championship. But where does it say if you're the Vikings, who had a bad game, defense, offense, the quarterback, coaching staff, everybody, against a hot team, against the eventual champion? They had a bad game, and they discard that quarterback just like that. Just like that. And bringing Kirk Cousins? Really? 11 after the hour, we continue. Mad Dog Unleashed.